Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai.
That was so cute. Welcome back, everyone, to the Watch Athlete Podcast. Today, we are covering Season 5 of Cobra Kai and Cobra Kai as a whole. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We are a podcast group of just a bunch of guys. There's usually 5 of us. We talk about anything under the sun, from sports to life, movies, TV. But today, this is just going to be a specific focused episode on Cobra Kai. If you're interested in checking out the rest of the podcast, you can go to our YouTube channel, drop us a subscribe real quick, and then check out our other content. I think we reviewed Season 4 of Cobra Kai almost like a year ago today, which is crazy to think that this podcast is like nearing a year old, but it is. If there's one thing our podcast likes, it is Cobra Kai. Typically, like Jacob's on this podcast, we love some Cobra Kai, so I think we're excited to talk about it today. So we're just going to get right into it. Raj, what are your thoughts on Season 5 of Cobra Kai?
My first initial thoughts are, I don't think law enforcement exists in the show.
No
They
chance.
canonically don't exist. They only show up for when something, like, crazy happens in the last episode of every season. But overall, starting off, the season was like, at the start of the season, a little underwhelmed because they developed an interesting plot line that lasted 40 minutes. And then after that, you know, I say about after episode 5, I was like, oh, it's about to go down. Like, that's how I felt throughout. I would say it was like a roller coaster of, oh my gods, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by the way, people listening and watching, Peter's here, but Peter doesn't know anything about Cobra Kai, so he's just here for the vibes. And
I'm gonna just inject the funny whenever I can.
Yeah. I was very skeptical of Season 5 of Cobra Kai. I said after Season 4 that I thought that should have been the last season. And now I'm saying that I think Season 6 should be the last season. But Season 5 of Cobra Kai was very good. I think there's 2 seasons that I enjoyed less than it. So I think I think that being like the third worst season isn't really there's 5 seasons that makes you pretty mid. But mid Cobra Kai is like great. So put that on a t-shirt. But no, I think the season was super fun. Roger's right. It started off really slow. After the first 2 episodes, it's kind of like, this is like funny, but like not the best Cobra Kai. And then it just got into all the cool stuff with Cobra Kai, and it was great. So very excited. I watched it in like 2 or 3 days. I know Raj watched it in one night. Of course, it brings the same amount of bingeability. Super fun, short episodes, high energy, leaves you on cliffhanger. Like, couldn't imagine a better show. Peter, do you have any thoughts on Season 5 of Cobra Kai?
I mean, here's the thing. For context,
doesn't it sound like the best thing ever?
For those who don't know about my whole spite thing with Cobra Kai, is because Jacob, one of our fellow members who is not here with us right now, insists that Cobra Kai, like, that the Karate Kid that Cobra Kai is based off of, that it's in fact the inverse, that the Karate Kid was a prequel to Cobra Kai somehow. That somehow before the show was even thought of, that the Karate Kid was the prequel to it, and that it is less relevant than Cobra Kai. And again, I don't have actual spite with the show. I've seen parts of it, and it does actually seem like a good show.
It's so great.
But, like, I just don't, like, are we in spoilers yet or not? Like,
we're just talking about all spoilers.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what was the whole thing with, like, they were about to, like, fight the cartel at some point?
Yeah.
Like,
what? Miguel went to go find his drug dealer of a dad.
Okay, so what was their plan to fight the cartel?
With karate.
Obviously.
They have guns and, like, kill people. Like,
guns don't exist in the karate universe, man. Listen
they do not exist. They are not real.
I haven't seen a single gun in Cobra Kai, actually.
No, me either. I don't even think the police have guns.
Yeah.
But no. So that is like a little bit of the plot line there. Everyone kind of assumed his dad was a drug dealer and didn't do good things. They never really fought the cartel. Like, they never even fought the dad. Like, it was just really a learning experience for Miguel, which is good because again, like, the show does border sometimes on the edge of like, this would actually never happen in real life. So I'm glad like they didn't have like the cartel show up and then fight the cartel, because it would have been like, really, are you serious here? So I'm glad they didn't end up going with that route. But yeah, they did almost like the cartel. Actually, though.
What am I saying? You literally see a gun in the first episode because of his dad, or second one from his dad.
Oh, you do, yeah.
Yeah. But besides that, there's no other guns in this show.
No.
Held by, law enforcement. Where are they at?
They don't exist. In
Yeah.
the
So
Cobra Kai
wait,
universe.
like, just nobody just ever call the cops. Like,
Well,
No, and
so during-
until the last episode.
during the first 2 seasons, they like never called the cops, and then I think after episode 2, they started to realize that season 2, they started to realize like maybe we need to start like introducing the cops because people definitely on the airwaves were like, this is like a fun show, but like it has no realism. And then in season 3, they started introducing this idea that if they called the cops, that like they would like, and they did it in season 5 a little bit too, where it would be like, if you call the cops, like you're actually trespassing on our property, or if you call the cops, everyone's going to get in trouble, or if you call the cops, there's going to be bad press for like the LaRusso business. So they started introducing these reasons why they wouldn't call the cops. Now I don't really think they're valid
tried
reasons.
to just like finagle their way like out of calling the cops in like every single scenario like a real person would do.
Yeah, besides season 2 though, I think because season 2 is the season that Miguel hurts his back. I think, right?
Yeah.
Season 2 is where Miguel hurts his back in the big school fight. And I think a lot of people were like,
I
hold
have
on, you
seen
had
that.
Yeah, the whole school fight, and people were like, wow, like not one person tried to interject. Like no teachers tried to like break up.
A teacher did try to, and then he caught a left or right fist to the face.
By Stingray, probably, right?
No, by another student.
Oh, okay. But anyway, there's a lot of teachers in that school.
Joe.
There should be security. It's 2022. It was 2019, not 2020.
Whoa.
It was 2019 at that point or something. So like, there were definitely police on scene at the school. So I think they started bringing that up, and they started being like, let's figure out ways to get the cops involved a little bit. And even in season 5, they have Amanda being like, I'm going to call the cops. And then they have in the last episode, they have a line where the guy goes, what are you going to call the cops for? You're trespassing on our dojo, which is like absolutely true. Like they are trespassing. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to go through the episodes and talk about them a little bit. So episode 1, the intro scene with the Cobra Kai commercial, great intro scene. That's what I have written down in my notes because like, it made Cobra Kai seem so cool with their like high-edge technology, but also you were like, I know these guys are the worst. So it was a great intro. And they show a little bit of like this relationship with Miguel going to Mexico where like they have these scammers and Miguel doesn't try to fight them because like he's learned like Miyagi-Do versus being really aggressive.
Character development, wow.
So
character development was great. Those scammers are the absolute worst, Raj. I don't know about you, but they were so annoying.
I saw the scammers at first. I'm like, no way he falls for this. I'm like, oh my god, he fell for it.
Yep. But then I like when it comes full circle and it's either episode 2 or episode 1.
Two.
No, episode 1. Johnny and Robbie beat up the scammer.
Towards the end, yeah.
Because I wrote on my notes, I wrote in my notes, Johnny and Robbie beating up the scammer people is iconic.
I'm just confused how Miguel and Robbie ended up friends after Robbie literally sent this kid into paralysis.
Nah, we'll get into that because I'm really happy about that. But anyway, I think the restraint thing is cool. But yeah, I like Johnny like getting the like they're going to reach for his wall and he knows he's like, nah, I've been through this rodeo, and just proceeds to kick them. That was really cool. The FBI shirts. Come on, name a more Johnny Lawrence thing than the FBI shirts.
Like, he knew where he was going, and he walked into Mexico with an FBI shirt on.
Wait, on the back it says female body inspector, and he gets one for him and Robbie. He's like, I bought us both gifts, and it says female body. It's so funny.
No, you cannot walk around and literally advertise that you work for the feds.
No, but it says in the back female body.
I know that.
Like that will make it any better when they walk into the bar in episode 2.
Yeah, it's great, but yeah, it's a little bit of setup, which I thought was cool. And then at the end of episode 1, you hear that Chosen is going on in an inside job, which was like, I don't know about you, Raj, I was hype.
I thought Chosen was going to be like an assassin or something.
It was going to be so cool. Peter, what do you think about Chosen going on an inside job?
He doesn't even know who
I
Chosen
think it's
is,
really cool. I don't know what's going on at this point.
Do you know Chosen, the guy who tried to kill Daniel and Karate Kid 2? When they had a fight to the death?
Yeah,
Sure.
it was the second prequel.
Yeah.
This is why I can't listen to Cobra Kai at all, because then it's just the prequel to Karate Kid. Whatever. I vaguely remember who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, he shows up again, and he's going down on the inside to take down Cobra Kai. Fun fact: it doesn't work out. Anyway, cool. Episode 2. I think episode 2 is honestly maybe the worst episode of the season.
Yeah, really? Agreed.
you've got like episode 1 kind of introduced a lot of stuff, so it was exciting to see that going on. And then episode 2 kind of like closed out the Miguel and his dad storyline. And you just kind of didn't feel like it was like okay, but you didn't feel greatly satisfied. And not a lot happened. I like the Chosen backstory a lot. They open with that where he's punching the sand and he's actually cheating, and his uncle is being like, you don't have any honor. So I thought that was a little good thing about honor. Johnny's cultural incompetence again strikes every single right nerve. It is so funny because he starts talking to this guy about the van, and the guy's like telling him he needs to move his van, that he can't park there, and he's like, no dinero, and he's just like doesn't know any Spanish, not even trying to like see eye to eye with this guy. He just keeps thinking he wants money and everything, and then eventually they end up towing his car like right in front of him, and he's all pissed off. But any scene with Johnny being culturally incompetent is just funny. I mean, I go back to the scene where he like runs around the track saying that only girls under 18 can join his club. When he tells Miguel, when he says that you have to have balls, and Miguel's like, you're doing a lot of genderizing, and he's like, what's that? And then he's like, leave your peanut allergies and all that made up crap at home.
That's really
there's like
funny.
iconic lines like that, like his cultural incompetence is great. And then the pepper scene, I thought Robbie was gonna body that hot pepper. Like I thought he was gonna use this Miyagi dough, like focus down, and he didn't even eat it. It was ridiculous. I was pissed off.
Well, that's because it's kind of just showing back to, yeah, Robbie is changing, but he's still the same old little scammer dude.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. But I thought he was going to body that pepper real quick, and then I was like...
I looked at that pepper, and I'm like, no shot either of them survive this. He's going to finesse his way out of this.
Yeah. It was cool, though. It's funny, because in this episode, Johnny keeps calling him Hector the Salazar instead of just Hector Salazar, which is his name.
Hector the Salazar.
He keeps really talking to people. He keeps talking about everyone. He's like, I'm looking for Hector the Salazar. And
they're like, what?
And just so funny. Like, for whatever reason, it just got me every time. And then in this episode, you kind of have, and Raj, I'll get your thoughts on this. You have Daniel a lot saying, like, we need to be ready for the fight. We need to be able to fight back. And I just kept watching it like, fight what? Like, what are you going to do? Like,
what are you fighting?
Bro, go back to your day job of selling cars and forget about it.
Literally, like, I was... Like, they're building up dojos, like, cool story, but he just kept being like, we need to be ready to fight. And I was like...
Dude's like, oh, he's going to come and attack me. I'm like, dude, just go back to your car dealership and vibe. It ain't a big deal no more.
It ain't that deep, bro.
It's karate, bro. Go back. Go back to
karate, bro.
Like what? You're gonna open a dojo and teach kids for free? Where's your income at, dude? How are you gonna support yourself?
Guy takes one econ class and now starts talking crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'll have you know, I've never taken those classes.
I'll have you know, I've never.
You have no ground to stand on.
I'll have you know. Show me a molecule, I can name it. Show me taxes, and I will fold on the spot.
And you'll fold
anyway.
And you'll fold just like Chosen when he gets beat up by Terry Silver and his reveal is done. That's a great transition. But by the end of the episode, Chosen gets defeated, which I don't know, kind of let down. I was kind of ready for like a season-long arc of like Chosen like feeding information, and then he just kind of gets butt kicked really early on. But like it was fine. The fight wasn't that good. The editing was really bad.
That Chosen was just gonna take him out right there and then.
That would have been so cool.
I was thinking of like, imagine Chosen just kills this dude right now. Fun fact: no one has ever died in Cobra Kai.
I mean, no, it's makes sense.
Well, isn't it like no borderline a kids show essentially? Like it's
also
like,
they use
obviously
karate.
It's not like a kids show, but like it's like no one's gonna die in the show. Like
I know, but
like the
I
only
want
time
stakes.
someone will die, like will be like a sacrifice or whatever. It'll be treated like very, very seriously. It's not like Game of Thrones. It's not like we're just like killing kids left and right at karate tournaments. Like
my bad. I've been watching The Boys too much.
Watching The Boys.
I expected death every episode. My mind's been changed.
Minimum.
Oh, I wanted to mention Silver had a scene in episode 2 where he kind of explained like why he would cheat to win something, and I was kind of like low key like I subscribed to that. I was like I could see like why you would want to like cheat to win. Like he gave a compelling case for cheating to win. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I'm gonna cheat to win, but I was invested in it. And I think it was because he was talking about how like this meant a lot for Tori, like the person,
Mm-hmm.
like with the arc and stuff. And I was like, honestly, like I could see why you do that. So a lot of
Okay.
good stuff there. And then I think,
Got it.
yeah, go Raj.
Yeah.
No. I was just the way you were saying that at first. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna cheat. Okay, bro.
no, I get where you're coming at with the whole. He was doing it for her.
Yeah, he was doing.
Kind of
He was doing for the dojo and for
Oh,
her.
yeah.
But like I was good with the response. Like, okay, I could see like rationally a little bit where you would make this like I did this for the betterment of everyone. And then you have at the end of the episode, which is a powerful scene where like Miguel and Johnny like meet up with each other after he kind of realizes that his real dad doesn't care about him, or he does care about him, but he's an awful person. But his more adopted dad, the new dad he's found, Johnny, like came all the way across Mexico.
His real
to find him.
dad doesn't know he exists.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he still
Yikes.
doesn't know he exists. You're right. But he wanted his real dad so bad, and he was an awful person, but he didn't like appreciate what was right in front of him, which was like someone who'd actually be a father to him. So that was a cool scene. But then we kind of go into episode 3, and episode 3 is kind of where you start like the rest of the arc for like the whole entire show. 1 to 2 were like a little bit like background, like setting up some things, like kind of including Miguel's arc. But like like episode 3 starts everything. So going on, Chosen is so funny. Like every scene he's just doing something funny. He's just this guy who like wants to beat people up and protect Daniel, and it works so well because anytime he's just like he just wants to like defend, or it's like, oh, we need to fight these people, and he like whips out his like knives for like he tries to bring him into the club at one point, and it's
He
like
whips out his kunais like casually, or not kunais, whatever those are called.
What does it look like?
It's like the trident shaped blades. It's like the two sides go in, and then there's one like. Hold up.
What?
I'm drawing it on
Like a
Snap.
switchblade,
I'm
like
drawing it on Snapchat.
a
Hold
butterfly knife, like
It's not a butterfly knife. It's like a legit blade, but
oh, and a great scene in episode 3 is the texting scene they have between the guys, Dimitri, yeah, like that.
Those are the Ninja Turtle has one of them.
yeah.
No, they're just Cobra Kai blades. That's what they're called.
Those are like sais, I think.
Cobra Kai blades.
Are they called? I think they might be size.
I think it's a sai. Sorry, Cobra Kai blade.
Yeah, Cobra Kai blade.
Yeah,
but they have
size.
they have a great scene between Eli, Dimitri, and Miguel. They're texting Moon, Yasmin, and Sam about
Most
like
problematic person in the show.
yeah, and they just like they're talking about like, oh no, like that text is bad. You gotta say something to make it up, and they'll like text something back, and they're like giving everyone's reactions, and then Dimitri's like, oh no, Miguel, you're in trouble. Like she didn't even send like an exclamation point or a smiley face emoji, and they're like, okay, we'll send a text, and it's really just funny because it is at its finest, like teenage like texting back and
That
forth,
is
like, over
very-
That was
analyzing.
very accurate. As
It was-
when it was
Dude,
like,
how many exclamation points is she using? How many Y's on the hay, bro?
the
and then,
Y
like-
to what it means scale on the head. Do you guys remember that meme?
Yeah.
It was like what was it? One hay means nothing. It
No,
was
it's
like
one Y on the hay means like she's not interested. 2 Y's means she's like friends with you. 3 Y's means she's interested in you. 4 plus means she's going to murder you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So it was kind of like that, literally that meme like, in the show. It was really cool. And they end up trailing Mike Barnes, which I don't know about you, Raj. I felt like that was so overly dramatic for no reason. I was like, it's not realistic to think that like they treated Mike Barnes in the beginning as if like he was gonna be like this awful. And I guess they're kind of going through like Daniel's perspective right here of how he viewed this guy. But like Mike Barnes was doing that stuff when he was 18 years old to Daniel. He's like 40 something now. So I was like, it's not really realistic to think that Mike Barnes is still a psychopath
No, it's
who
not that deep.
it's like you don't think he's changed at all. Like you could probably walk up to him and be okay. And Daniel's been training with kids, so like even if like Mike was like, I'm gonna come beat you up now, it's like, Daniel, you're probably better than him. Like I doubt this guy's been keeping up with his karate. And it's all dramatic with him like whipping out his like saws and stuff, and people thinking he's like killing people or what. I was just like, what is this? So that didn't really sit with me. Like it wasn't even like ironically funny. It was just actually
looked him up. Like
It
if
was
you
just
looked up his name on
unfunny.
Google, you would have saw that he runs a furniture store.
yeah. It just was a whole like over dramatic thing. And then even at the end, like Chosen runs in and ruins everything by like attacking his workers, and I was just like, why? So I think episode 2 and 3 are kind of the worst episodes of the show. Season 3 has questionable choices, and then they burned down Mike's furniture store, and I was just like, for what reason? Like, what did that accomplish?
That was Terry just being his psychopathic self.
Yeah, but I just don't really think it had a purpose.
Yeah, and that's where I was just like, where are the cops in this show?
It's just straight up arson happening. No cops.
And he just gets away with it. Like, yeah, there's people who tried that too, and they still got caught.
And I don't know about you, Raj, but a big pull on the heartstrings. Episode 3, Miguel buys the octopus necklace that costs like $180. He goes to give it to Sam, and Sam breaks up with him, and he drops the
very accurate representation of the real world.
Yikes.
Yeah, and then he's like ready to reconcile, and then he drops it in the yard, and you know it's gonna come back later, which is cool. But it was like I felt bad for Miguel. Like I wrote in my notes, I feel bad for my man Miguel because I felt that. I was like, man, that sucks.
I was like, R.I.P. my boy. He'll bounce back better than ever, which he did.
Mm-hmm. He did. He got the girl. And then Johnny and Carmen are pregnant, or Carmen's pregnant with Johnny's kid, and it's funny. Like Johnny doesn't know what a period is. He has no idea what any of this stuff is, and it's just like, again, Johnny just being incompetent at like everything.
What?
And then my favorite part was when he said he got the condom from a gas station.
And he tries to return it. He goes to the person and says, this didn't work.
Okay. I'm sorry for anybody listening to this podcast for the sentence I'm about to say. Did he bring it back used and tried to return it?
I don't think so. I think he brought the back back.
Okay. That is the wildest thing. Like
he like Carmen, like he was pretty much like, yeah, we use protection, and then he goes, I know I shouldn't have bought those condoms from the gas station.
That has the same energy of like, don't eat the clam chowder from Toyota Thon. It's like, yeah, no duh. What were you expecting?
Yeah, it was funny. But it also just funny to see his incompetence because again, he's like, because Carmen's like, I'm a little late, and he's like, for what? And it's just funny. But anyway, moving on to episode 4. Again, kind of start episode 4 with like, Daniel's like, we need to be ready for an attack, and I was like, what attack? Like nothing.
Who is attacking you?
No one's
Terry
being
straight
attacked.
up told him, I'm not gonna do anything to you as long as you just stay out of my way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I
he
think
offered him a lot of chances to stay out of his way. Like, I'm pretty sure there's 4 different occasions where Terry goes, last chance, Danny boy.
Yeah, I agree. Episode 5, we're going to go through it a little bit quickly. Johnny being an Uber driver and just trying to make money for his kid and having that little like scene with the guy who runs the pawn shop, or like, I thought that was really cool. It really, like, Johnny is the best character in season 5. He's the best character in the entire show, and he has a lot of development here where he like is trying to pick up responsibility. And you have a scene with Robbie's mom who comes, which also I think the actress changed. She looked a little different, but I could be wrong.
Plastic surgery, Botox here and there.
Yeah, here and there. But really cool. Just like symbolism there. Like Robbie's mom was pretty much like, Johnny, like you were not a great dad. You're not great to me, but like I've seen that like you've changed a lot and you're like ready to do better. Like I hope you are ready to do better. He changes his whole house and everything. Kyler is still unsufferable in season 5. He is just like such a trashy person, but it's like so funny.
Okay, well, first of all, his name is Kyle.
Kyler.
Oh, Tyler? Oh,
Kyler.
What?
Tyler with a K. Kyler.
This
Tyler
only
Murray.
proves my point more. Like, every single time that you said that, I was like, oh, it can't be Kyler. I must have misheard it. No.
He might be I think he's the only character where, in the show, which this is totally intentional, where he's awful in every single season. Like, he never has, like, you never think he's good. You're never rooting for him. You're never hoping he changes. Like, he's just actually an awful guy.
Yeah.
But he's still insufferable. You have the whole water park thing, which I was just like, they were deciding who was going to lead the water park or not, and they did a water slide race, and I was like, why? But it was, like, funny, because they made it all dramatic. They were at the top. And also, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know who weighs more, Tori or Eli, but, like, whoever weighs more and was on the faster slide was easily going to win the race. Like, it wasn't going to be close. Like, that's how science works. So I was just like, seems stupid. I still hate Kenny. Worst. And then what was I gonna say? I just want Robbie and Miguel to be friends. They hate each other the entire time. I just really wanted them to be friends. I don't know about you, Raj, but
I mean, I wanted to see them be friends too. I just didn't picture a world where they'd make up, considering, let's see, Robbie stole. Well, they both stole each other's girls twice.
yeah.
What? What? No. Back up. I checked right back into this conversation. Hang on. They stole each other's girls twice.
Yeah, so
So-
okay, so what happened was actually Roger, you can explain it.
So let's start
Okay.
with there's
Okay,
Miguel.
wait. So just give me the characters involved.
Okay, Miguel, Sam, Tori, Robbie.
Okay.
It started off Miguel and Sam.
Miguel, Sam.
Then
Okay.
it went Sam and Robbie.
Sam, Robbie. Okay.
Then it went Tori, Miguel.
So then it went Tori, Miguel. Okay.
Yes.
And then they flip flopped again.
So
So
they
that-
just come. So then they just went from here to.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Here you go. You got it.
here-
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got
No, here to here, and then here to here.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Okay,
who's-
then-
And there's still
together.
like,
Who do you
and
think's
there's still
together now?
lingering, and then still like lingering looks in season 5 where like is Robbie looking at Sam? Like
Oh my.
still a little bit weird.
This love square is insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
So now it is Miguel and Sam, Robbie and Tori.
But it's
Okay.
pretty set by the end of the season.
Yeah.
They end up kissing, so I think that's pretty set for the future. Which I'm kind of over the relationship drama. I wrote that a little bit in here, where I was like, I'm glad we had like the payoff we did, but like I'm ready for these like, relationships now to be like I want to see Robbie and Tori like grow their relationship and be a solid pair, and I want to see Sam and Miguel do the same, and I want to see them like go out on double dates and like be like people and like high schoolers. I'm tired. I don't really need to see them like do the I'm jealous. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have like a drinking competition on one leg to like to see what happens. Oh my god, we're gonna be pissed. We're gonna throw a fight. We're gonna push each other in the pool. Like I'm done with that. So
Oh my
I was happy
god,
about that.
Tori.
and then I'm gonna say it,
Stop
Raj.
it.
I'm gonna say it, Raj. Amanda should have left Danny.
Amanda
He
should have divorced
She
his
should have
ass.
left him. Like you're supposed to feel bad for. I don't feel bad for Daniel at all.
No, he's self-obsessed. Amanda
so
should have
self-
walked out.
And she did. Good for her. And she took the kids. Yeah. Amen. Yes, Pia. Thank you.
Girl boss types things. Yeah.
In episode 5, we're gonna keep it rolling here. Breadsticks. Great shout out for the Olive Garden breadsticks. I said that Daniel might have a drinking problem. Low-key, he was drinking a lot in season 5. Like a lot of whiskey, just always going down. I'm like, he should probably get that checked out. Like, see someone about that. Like his karate thing is not that stressful.
Johnny and Danny did
I love that you're talking about it like he's a real human being. And you're like, you should probably go see somebody about that.
He really should. It was. There was too many whiskey glasses in his hand throughout the season. I was like, my man's drinking like one set, like multiple like glasses of whiskey like every single day. I was like, he should probably get
Damn.
that.
Yo, respect.
I was like, God.
Thanks, Raj. Anyway, Johnny, I wrote in my notes, Johnny slayed with the escape room cowboy scene.
He
It was
did.
great. Like I was impressed. He made the whole thing. It had like doors and everything. It was great. But episode 5, we're not gonna spend too much time on it, except the Robbie Miguel fight was awesome.
Yes.
Then it's season
One
5.
last final fight.
hmm And I think they do a really good job in that of like having Miguel in the position that Robbie was in, and he learned his lesson this time. But Robbie also could feel like what Miguel felt like, where he was just like helpless, like gonna like he could have just like broken his back. And you kind of had the thing where like Robbie was like, that was also the worst day of my life. Like he's like, I didn't want to kick you off that balcony. And they reconcile.
Why'd you do it, bud?
Mhm.
I also
Adrenaline.
suffered, except you nearly died.
While you suffered physically, I suffered mentally. We are the same.
We are the same. No, we are not.
And I also wrote that Silver and Daniel's fight was really good, but Daniel did get folded out to oblivion.
Daniel was also like probably intoxicated, but still like.
Yeah.
Also, my one issue with the show is power scaling sometimes.
Oh my God.
Talk about that.
There's no way you're about to talk about power scaling in Cobra Kai.
No, once we get to the last episode, there is some concerning power scaling that happens throughout this entire show, and it's just confusing me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
Yeah,
what-
no.
episode 6 now?
We're still on episode high. I was just gonna say, episode 5 really does a great job of you have the Silver Daniel fight and you have the Robbie Miguel fight, and it really does transition well into the latter half of the season, where I think episodes 1, 2, and 3 were pretty mid, and then 4 and 5 were pretty good. But like everything from 6 onwards, I think is really good, and I think episode 5 really like sets those stakes and kind of puts everything in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 6 starting off, Daniel's really self-aware, and sees and episode 6 for like no reason, like nothing really changed. But he's just suddenly like self-aware that he's like actually just like a bad human being sometimes. But it's fine. Also, I said if everyone in the valley is part of the Cobra Kai dojo, don't they just all lose to each other in the final match? Therefore, Cobra Kai like I don't really see the end game. Like they want to be the best, like, maybe a lot of money, sure, but like they will always win the tournament if everyone in the valley fights for Cobra Kai. So there's no point in the tournament.
Well, we find out later his whole end game.
Yes, which we'll get into that because it still doesn't really make much sense. But I said Silver has a bad end game. He wants to win the national karate tournament. Like, cool. He wants to win the Sakai, I think
Sakai,
Sakai.
Tai something.
Yeah, like cool. Like, I'm here for that, but like not that much. But
I don't see how that's like we're hearing Thanos' plan of killing half the population, Terry Silver's diabolical plan, winning the national karate tournament.
Okay, well, you cannot just compare Thanos to like a guy. You're like, wow, this genocidal maniac is doing way more horrible things than.
Well, the way they depict
dude.
Terry in the show, it's analogous.
Okay, okay, that's fair.
So we're gonna keep moving here. We don't want to be here too long. It's already gone over the time but it's Cobra Kai, so.
All right.
Episode 6. Still, I think Silver was about Endgame. Chosen and Johnny beefing about who like did the worst thing to Daniel is so funny. Chosen's like, I fought him to death, and Johnny's like, I like kicked his ass for the entire year, and it's just funny. That whole scene was funny.
Demons are coming back to haunt him.
Yeah,
you know what? The show's gonna end with everyone from Johnny's past just fighting him.
Literally. Moving to 7. I lost it when they had a war map with flags about where the dojos were being built. I was like, y'all, it's not deep. Like,
exactly.
It's not that deep.
Like, bro, it's just karate. There's something after they graduate, after they leave high school, they're gonna go to college and do something with their life, not karate.
Yeah. I wrote here that Sam has awful karate outfits because she does. It's really bad. She doesn't look like she's trying to fight for karate. She looks like she's trying to like go out for a jog around the local track. It's so bad. Anywho,
are you looking at her clothes, Justin?
What? Because she's on the show.
Okay.
I think the chosen egg.
Sure.
I think the chosen egg thing was really funny. Okay, hold on. Sam literally wears leggings under a pair of like gym shorts. Like, it's so bad.
How would you know?
Because I watched the show, idiot.
Okay.
Anywho, I said Kyler. I called Kyler a bad name because he was like, when they had the whole like leadership thing in the dojo, he was like talking so much crap about like how he was the leader, and he was like, "Yeah, don't mess with the champ." And I like, you just want him to get his butt kicked so bad.
But he's the leader of the friend group.
Yeah, he's the alpha male.
He's the alpha male.
I need to ask permission to go to bed from him.
He's literally like the alpha male that's not an actual alpha male.
Yes.
And then I said that Sam and Miguel stopping to talk during like Chosen's egg lesson was like ridiculous. Like, he's gonna come kill you. Not really, but like Chosen's gonna come hunt you down. Like, why are you stopping to talk?
Because they're forced to talk to each other.
Yeah, I guess.
Miguel found his opportunity. Respect. Game respects game.
I did like the leadership lesson between with Kenny and Silver. I was like, go get it, Kenny. Even though I don't really like the guy. Global karate tournament doesn't make much sense. And then one of the best scenes in the entire show is when they write on the piece of paper "No mercy" and they give it to Kreese. That's not what they wrote exactly. But they say that line, and it's a really good line. Although I didn't really like Kreese's appearance in the show. What about you, Raj?
I think he's gonna be back next season. Like, the dude, like, get rid of him. Honestly, at this point they've exhausted every resource from the original movies.
Yeah,
like they legitimately did. They brought back the girl from season of the second movie, who's like not even that. I mean, decently important, but like brought her back for like a mention, and then that's it. Like they're out of everything they could possibly bring back. So now I guess they're just going off in their own direction, but like I think it's time to maybe
start to wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap the show up, or make something new out of it, or get rid of the old characters who constantly cause problems. It ain't that hard.
I agree. I wrote that there's a Rocky reference in episode 8. That was good. They also made a ninja reference in episode 4. That was pretty cool as well.
Wait, like ninja, like the
streamer, yeah.
Yeah, the streamer. Yeah.
What? Oh,
Like the blue
okay.
hair, like I was scream at little kids kind of dude.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then they had to fight for like who would compete in the dojo. I like that they chose Hawk to fight. Like it made sense why they chose Hawk to fight. Like as he should.
And then welcome to Power Scaling 101, where the champion of boys U18 gets folded by a kid who just started because the kid's angry. It made no sense why Kenny was that good at karate in that amount of time, only because he was channeling his anger. And the kid's 4'5". Like, what can he do?
The kid is 4'5".
His arms are the size of probably Hawk's legs. Or other way around. Wait,
Yeah.
I messed that up. Whatever. But still, his legs are the size
Agreed.
of Hawk's arms. But yeah, that's what I meant.
And then they had the whole thing when like Hawk is like, I'm gonna uncage the Hawk, and he like pulls his mohawk up, and it makes the Hawk noise, and then he just gets folded.
Yeah.
But whatever. Sam is really good in this episode because she's the ref is clearly paid off, and she goes over to the senseis, and they say this, they're like, you're clearly the better fighter, just like make it known, like just win every point decisively. Don't try to like nick Devin on the side. Don't try to like put her on the ground. Like kick her ass. And she goes out and does it, and you just see like she just like fully extends her like right into the right into her chest, like hits her on the ground and just like punches her right in like the midsection. Like these are clearly decisive points, and it's just really cool to see because like Samuel's lost all of her confidence from season 4, and she's like building back up, and you just see that like she just really did her best karate and made every single point decisive. And you see it on the ref's face, he's like, I can't really call it another way. Like these are clear, easy point wins. And then I forgot to mention earlier, they made a reference to Rico, the guy who did Hawk's original back tattoo, when he was getting a different tattoo. And he was like, yo, tell Rico I said hi or something. And I was like, that was really cool because I remember Rico. And then Miguel and Sam were apologizing, I think, in this episode. And then because they were at the party, and then they got messed up again because Tori showed up. No. Miguel was kissing another girl.
Yeah, my man.
He was getting too much action at the party.
Sam is the definition of La Toxica. Get rid of her.
Episode 9, Robbie and Miguel working together just felt good because like it just been so many like years of beef and misunderstandings between the two, and it's good to see them working together. Happy for Johnny. I don't really know why I wrote that there. I think probably just because of the baby. Chosen bringing weapons in the club was funny. I think the thing of using Dungeons and Dragons to convey kind of what, like, as a recap going into the final episode was really cool and unique. Like, I really like that.
They did Stranger Things. They did the thing.
There's a lot of pop culture reference in this season compared to the others. I will admit that.
Yeah.
What episode? Now we're on end of 9, started closer to 10.
Yeah, we'll just end off 10 because we're a little short on time. But Raj, just tell me about episode. I don't even need to walk through it. Just tell me what you thought about episode 10.
10, that's where it was like, okay, it's all going down here. This is where everyone's going to have the big fight like they do the last episode of every season. And then the cops will finally get involved in the show. This time around, though, I was expecting death.
Why?
Because they needed to cross the line eventually. There's too many characters. You got to start killing them off.
You can write characters out of a show without killing them.
Tyrone Woodley's in this show. He gets his finger cut off.
Yeah, he does. It's really funny.
Whoa, what?
They used blades in the final fight.
Yeah, they were like.
They used the Cobra Kai blades. They used the Cobra Kai like dual wields, and they also used the Cobra Kai katana.
But basically,
were they using pistols? What are you talking about? Dual wields?
No, the thing Raj showed you earlier.
Oh, the size. Okay, yeah.
Dual Cobra Kais.
Yeah. But, okay, Justin. Whatever. But basically, my takeaways from the last episode: power scaling. Terry apparently just sucks now. Danny's always OP in the episode 10. Johnny should be. I just flipped off the camera by accident. Sorry, guys. Damn it.
Oh my god.
Johnny, he should have been knocked out, passed out. He took about 100 punches and was still standing. Don't know how that happened.
The Rocky Balboa technique: get the absolute lights beaten out of you, and
that's what he
still
did.
somehow win.
He saw the ultrasound picture of his kid and was just like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see what else. Chosen versus Terry, round 2, epic fight. Chosen technically won that, but then he looked away because he heard Johnny say something. Final fight. Danny, no one can beat Danny in the 10th episode season finale of the show.
But I thought how they did some of the stuff in the finale was really cool. Chosen beat Silver. He's drunk. I don't really know how he did that, but whatever, he won. And then they got drunk at the club, Peter. Sorry. They got drunk at the club the episode before. And then,
dude, I got no idea what's going on. Just keep going.
And then, so the Chosen looks away because he's worried about everyone else going on. So I think that's really cool. Like, he actually does win. Johnny, I think people kind of forgot. Like, he did see the picture of his kid, but in the background, you hear Silver saying, or Kreese saying, "You're in Cobra Kai. You got to do whatever it takes." And then he sees the picture of his kid. So he's like using his Cobra Kai lessons from the past, even though we are like supposed to think Cobra Kai is bad, and he uses it to really fight against everyone, which is it's really cool. It's a powerful scene. Again, why Johnny's the best character in the show. And I really like the Daniel fight because they interject the clips with Karate Kid 3, and they do the Quicksilver method, and it was really cool to see.
If opponent,
nice. It's the power scaling like those movies were good.
Yeah, power scaling. On the other hand, that's still my biggest issue with this show. Not
great, but it was cool because it was like they would interject it with rule number 1 of the Quicksilver method: if an opponent can't see, he can't fight. And then you see like just Danny like punch him right into the face, and it's like if an opponent can't stand, he can't fight. And then it's like you cut out. It's like, oh no, it's if you can't breathe, he can't fight. And then Danny like knocks the wind out of him, and then it's like
if you can't see, you can't fight. No.
And then he does the Cobra Kai, and then he I'm sorry, Jacob's not here. I have to do it.
I'm gonna scream in about 3 seconds and blow all of your mics out.
Dude, the sequels when they showed they were doing the Cobra Kai kick was insane, right, Peter? I'm waiting. I'm calling your bluff.
You're gonna keep waiting.
Okay.
I'm just
Justin,
burning time.
Closing remarks.
And then I said I don't really want to see Kreese in season 6, but I was skeptical about season 5. I was pretty skeptical season 5, and it was really good still. So I'm not gonna like doubt Cobra Kai's gonna pull it off, but I really am not excited to see Kreese. But we'll see how it goes. I really do think season 6 should be the last season. This is a show that has been really good for 5 seasons. I don't want to see a day because Cobra Kai could be bad quickly if they don't make it compelling, because some of the stuff that happens is ludicrous, and the only way you make the ludicrous stuff entertaining is because this show is a character-driven show. You actually do care about like every single character on the show. We talked about in final thoughts about like the season and Cobra Kai as a whole. We talked a lot about in the last review how Cobra Kai shouldn't be good, but it just is. That's just completely false at this point. Like, Cobra Kai is a good show because they really care about their characters and develop it well. Like, it's not a mistake that Cobra Kai is like good. It's just actually genuinely a good TV show.
Closing remarks is season 5 pretty good. Season 6, I'm calling it right now. They're gonna introduce Jaden Smith's Karate Kid into it.
No, they're not doing that.
They've ran out of so much material. They need to. We're gonna get adult Jaden Smith fighting Miguel at one point. I'm telling you, we're gonna see Jackie Chan and all of them in here.
All right, with that, we're going to leave it because that's a ludicrous take. Season 5 was good. Season 5 was good. Happy. Love Cobra Kai. Leave your comments down in the description below. Anyway, this has been the Wash Athlete Podcast. Raj, Justin, and Peter and I are all signing off. Make sure if you enjoyed this and you're just coming here for the Cobra Kai review, you check out the other content in our on our YouTube page. Go check out our social medias. If you're here and you've listened to the podcast before, make sure you go check out all our episodes. Drop a like, drop a comment, and we will see you next time on the Wash Athlete Podcast.
It's called The Karate Kid, not The Cobra Kai. At Jacob, because I know you're not going to watch this episode.